Yeah, guys, get ready to tackle the NFL action with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, because right now new customers can bet $5 and get $250 in bonus bets if you win. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need to place live bets on the NFL all in one place. So when you get a hunch in the middle of the game, you can go check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more, all on the same page where you place your bets. Just visit fanduel.com/UCSS to join today. Never waste a hunch and make every moment count with FanDuel, America, the official sportsbook partner of the NFL.
Nailed it. All right, guys.
Might have been hooked on phonics.
Jimmy Butler, it came out yesterday that he is officially open to being dealt by the NBA trade deadline. Shams Charania of ESPN reported that Jimmy Butler would even prefer to be moved by the deadline, as it looks like Miami is in that middling limbo level of the NBA. They're not great. They're not terrible. Miami could look to use that Butler asset as a ability to move on. So, we've talked about Jimmy Butler in the past. Now, as you see the tweet from Shams there, that he is preferring a trade out of Miami ahead of the deadline. Is this a guy that should be squarely on the Cavs' radar as a must-get target or a must-need to solidify the championship odds?
You know, it's wild. Project Stockpile is always alive and well deep inside my heart and soul. And for you to get a Jimmy Butler who is a primetime playoff monster, Jimmy Butler is one of them dudes that turn all the way up. Jimmy Butler turned up in the playoffs. He automatically can shoot threes. He has the bully mode down low. He's a competitor. He gets a lot of calls. He gets to the free throw line 37 times a game. However, Jimmy Butler is a little old. Jimmy Butler is a little volatile. Like Jimmy Butler, he goes and practices and says, "I'm just going to embarrass you in practice," or he's like, "Yeah, you guys ain't built enough, right? You ain't built for this. I'm gonna show you how to get this done." Now, look, I don't know how that flies in this locker room, and we do have semi-sensitive guys. Jared Allen is a little sensitive. Evan Mobley is a quiet individual. Darius Garland is a little more of a reserved guy. And the obvious leader is Donovan Mitchell. Now, look, if Donovan Mitchell comes out and says, "Listen, get me Jimmy Butler," obviously that could be something that would be looked at as, all right, well, we'll see what we can do about it. However, here's the problem. Where is he going to play? Is Jimmy Butler going to play the three? I don't know. Is Jimmy Butler willing to come off the bench? Probably not.
No, I can assure you right now with 100% certainty.
He's not coming off the bench.
Jimmy Butler's not coming off the bench.
Also, the most problematic is, if I'm correct as I was researching this, Jimmy has already told teams that he is declining his option.
That is true.
And he is going to opt out after this year.
Yep.
So that puts him as a free agent. I don't think he's willing to. It'd be very difficult unless they won a championship to see where he would stay and how that would line up with the money, Tyvis. Because for me, that's a 1-year rental. That ain't even a 1-year rental. It's like a 6-month rental. Mm-hmm. You got to get it done against Boston. Mm-hmm. But I will say this. I don't think they need him. But it would be nice to have.
How you gonna sit here and do this whole thing?
It would be nice.
We sat here for 3 minutes talking about, I don't think it's gonna be right, but you know what? It would be nice.
It would be nice. Come April, May, June, and you see Jimmy Butler with Donovan and Darius and Mobley.
So you can't do that because Darius has to be part of the trade, unfortunately.
Oh, well, see. No, we can't do that.
Unless you could somehow finagle Miami into taking – and finagle is not the right word, but you have to match salaries. He's making $50 million this year. Ooh. So how do you get to $50 million without Darius or Jared Allen? However, they have Bam, and they just drafted Khalil Ware in the first round last year, who's a center. Why would they want Jared Allen? So I'm not sure how you get to that $50 million to match if Darius isn't part of the equation. Tyvis, I want to hear your opinion first before I chime in.
How old is Jimmy Butler?
He's 34 right now.
Jeez, oh man. All right, listen. I mean, the fact of the matter is, depending on it will really depend on what you have to give up. I think G is right on the part of, if you got Jimmy Butler, I don't know how he would mesh with this locker room. Mm-hmm. Jimmy Butler is different. He's an ultra competitive guy. The Cavs is very young, very loose is the term that a lot of people like to use. And obviously, you know, the last time Jimmy Butler played for a team like that, he was like having one-on-ones, busting people in practice and all these things. And it's just like a seriousness that comes with him. And I don't know how that would fit in the Cavs locker room right now. Now, Jimmy Butler, and then on top of that, I don't know how he fits in Kenny Atkinson's offense. You know, Kenny Atkinson's offense is a lot of swinging the ball around, getting that one extra pass, hit the 3-line, maybe backdoor cut, maybe hit the layup. Don't get me wrong, he's a great finisher, but I don't look at Jimmy Butler as this great 3-point shooter. You know, you talked about a lot. Kenny doesn't really care for the mid-range shots. Jimmy Butler is a huge mid-range shooter. So that to me kind of worries me a little bit. You know, he's not young anymore, so to be able to run around like that and keep swinging the ball and continuously moving and things like that, I don't know if that fits his play style. I think that if you added him into this rotation right now, even if you did take Darius out, added him to the rotation right now, is he comfortable without the ball? Is he I don't know. And then you're doing it right now, which we're almost in January. Playoffs start in April, so now you got 3 months to try to get this thing to mesh, which the Knicks just now figuring it out with their stuff. So like that to me scares me a little bit. Don't get me wrong, I believe Jimmy Butler is a great talent, but I think the risk of it, what you have to give up and the risk of it all working out right now at this current moment might not be worth it.
I think I'm shedding a tear, guys. Like, I came on this show expecting to fight y'all to the death on why this makes no sense for Cleveland. And your growth as basketball analysts, man.
See how they try to
I'm a proud father right now. This is incredible. It's a Christmas miracle, ladies and gentlemen.
They're trying to play us like we don't know.
The fact that he took his glasses off is crazy.
For real, though, you guys made all the points I wanted to hit on. The Cavs have the best record in basketball through 31 games. It would be a giant risk to mess up the core construct of what has worked so well thus far. Jimmy Butler has already told, to G's point, he's told teams that he wants to opt out and sign a new contract this summer. He's going to be 34, 35, depending on when he signs the deal. And if you look at some comparable players at this stage of their careers and what they got, Paul George last year, at 35 years old, got a $4-year, $211 million contract.
That's crazy.
Would you feel comfortable paying Jimmy Butler $50-something million when he's 38, 39?
No.
To acquire Jimmy Butler this year, as I mentioned earlier, I don't see how you can include Jared Allen in the deal. I just don't think Miami would want that asset back. So it has to be Darius and some other things and probably a first-round pick to get him. If you were to bring Jimmy Butler in with that new contract at, let's just say 4 years, $50 million per, you are locked in. And if Jimmy Butler stays as good as he is now for 4 years, okay, you still have a championship window. If there starts to be a decline in Jimmy Butler's game, that's an albatross contract that is really hard to navigate around.
He'd be hurt a lot.
He's hurt a lot. I'm just not risking and willing to give up an asset of Darius's caliber to lock yourself into that rotation for what could be a 1-year rental or a half-season rental, or the chance of a declining 35, 36, 37, 38-year-old star who's still making money as the top guys in the league. But to the big point, this team's chemistry is unmatched right now. I'm telling you guys, and I'm curious from your opinion from a football standpoint. Good chemistry versus bad chemistry in a locker room and the way you interact and play with your teammates makes a ginormous world of difference.
Yes.
We're going to play you a clip in 1 sec from the Cavs locker room after Monday's win that kind of illustrates how tight and how connected this unit is. But you go back to his days in Minnesota with Jimmy Butler. He challenged the entire team essentially to a fight, embarrassed them one-on-one in practice,
he did.
and forced himself to be traded.
Yep.
In Philadelphia,
they chose Tobias Harris over him.
He still
says Tobias Harris over me.
In Chicago, he forced his way out. I know some guys who worked with Jimmy in Miami who speak incredibly highly of him. He's an ultimate competitor. They think his process to get to where he wants to go isn't always right, but he's always just trying to improve the team and win. How that meshes with the current Cavs roster, I don't know, but let's hear this clip from the locker room on Monday. And you tell me, are you really going to mess with this chemistry? Because I just can't buy into it right now. Ant, play the clip.
Hopefully it never happens again. Yes. Did you know who the culprit was yet?
I'm not a
Tristan Thompson!
Wow. Yo, TT.
Thought so.
That was Donovan Vernell Mitchell. Oh. Yo, TT.
That's what we doing?
TT, that's crazy, bro.
Full government?
Check that, TT. Whenever you're on Twitter tonight or X.
Full government?
Check Don. Call
Alright,
Don.
say less.
Kenny threw on the bus too.
Oh, dang. KA, that's crazy, bro.
So he dropped his middle name. Donovan has made it a point not to put his middle name out there. It's not on his basketball reference page. It's not on his Wikipedia. It had never been revealed till Monday night. And what you don't see in that clip is as Donovan was walking past us to go shower before he left the arena, he asked Darius, what time's your flight going home? Darius said, tomorrow morning. Darius asked Donovan, and Donovan just kind of smiled and walked away. And he goes, oh, yeah, I forgot. You got that PJ money. I don't. And Donovan turned around and goes, will you shut up? But in a good way. The chemistry, I'm telling you, is unmatched in that locker room right now. I'm not messing with it.
His new name is Rumpelstiltskin. That's it. Discover you the middle name? By the way, man, them fairy tales back in the day was creepy. Like
If you go back and look at them
If you go back and look, like, so a small little creature says, hey, I get to steal your kid if you don't know my name. You got 5 to 10 years to figure it out. That was creepy. By the way, Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland, you both have PJ money. Stop acting like we don't know what the numbers is, Darius. We know your contract and everything, especially these other people in the media. They almost gave you that Deshaun Watson 230 max deal. You got PJ money, but you saw the energy and the laughter and the joking and the stuff like that. And here's the thing. When you bring in a guy like Jimmy Butler, let's just be clear. Jimmy Butler has always been an alpha on all teams. Like, he's like, I'm Jimmy Butler. Y'all can't tell me how to do it. Y'all play around too much. I got the Heat culture on. I done been in all these different places. I know how to win. But then you're looking around like, but do you really know how to win, Jimmy? You've only been around. Your welcome gets outrun in 2-3 years. People just get tired of it. So he's a great basketball player. He one of them super duper competitors. But if you want your face to look like that after wins, bring Jimmy Butler in.
My thing about Jimmy is a great basketball player. But my only thing with Jimmy is, and this might sound kind of crazy. I don't want it to sound crazy, so I'm gonna try to say it as delicately as I can.
Right.
He's not a great team player. Like, he did what Donovan did last year in the play. When Donovan just said, you know what, get out the way. Y'all, I'm going to just do it myself. Like, that's kind of how Jimmy really got them to, because he just went on a heater. It was like, all right, just give it to, it was like Kobe. Just give him the ball, get out the way. I do it. Yeah. Like that. So, and I think when you think about the Cavs right now we'll see how they act in the playoffs, because that's ultimately on Bulls. To Bulls' credit, we got to see what y'all do in the playoffs. But right now, y'all winning because of so many different people contributing to the win. It's such a team thing that the ball is getting swung around. If it turns into Jimmy just getting the ball and just doing Jimmy, like, that defeats the whole purpose. Now, don't get me wrong. He's shown you that he can definitely get you there. But, like,
I'm going to drop a G. Bush bomb. Shams, you're not the only one that can get that off. Oh, Woj. Now, I would like somebody on their team that does fit in very well. One Kevin Love. Tell me, listen, before you trip out.
You take you back, huh?
No,
you get Kevin. You need a big that can shoot.
Yeah. On a minimal contract.
On a minimum contract,
you don't trust George Niang,
and he's in shape. If one thing you play for, if you get somebody from the Heat, they running miles a day.
No, it's very true.
He's running right now.
It's very true.
He's in top-notch condition, ready to, and listen, they got Udonis Haslem sitting next to people, smacking them, telling them, you better be ready. Better be ready.
But he does bring that defensive element that you need.
Talk Butler.
Yeah.
Well, let me
like, that's the one thing, like, when
quick.
you talk about, because everybody's the Celtics that everybody's trying to get at. Like, he does.
It's a good matchup against Tatum and Brown.
Yeah, like that, and you need that.
So let me ask you guys this question, and then I'll answer it with a point. Let's just say, for the sake of this, it was straight up Butler for Darius. Let's just swap those two players for the sake of this. Do the Cavs have a better shot at beating the Celtics in the postseason?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Tell me first, and then we'll go G next.
Because first of all, I can't believe you. I can't believe you said Darius is my boy. Okay, first of all, put the camera on me. See, Darius is my boy. He's my favorite player on the Cavaliers. But he definitely no-showed last year in the playoffs. With Jimmy, that's not going to happen. You got two guys that, when in doubt, they're going to get it done. Jimmy and Donovan will get it done. They will figure out if Kenny got to scrap his whole philosophy and scheme, them two players alone will find a way to get it done. I like the way that they match up. Now, granted, Donovan is still undersized, but he's still a scrappy guy. He's still going to make it hard and play defense as best as he can. So those two guys, Jimmy and Donovan versus Jalen and Jason, I like that. I like that. That's a good. I can live with those results because I think those two can both get it done at a high clip.
Nope.
G, you say no. Why do you say no?
Hey, man, it's just like Travis Hunter and his girlfriend. Travis not breaking up with that girl. Leave him alone. He likes her.
I don't blame him.
Hey, guess
do
what?
your thing, bro.
Donovan Mitchell is not breaking up with Darius Garland. He likes him. He made it a point last year.
I was just asking the question. Does Jimmy for Darius give them a better chance to beat the Celtics? Not would you, just does that team give them a better chance?
Saying no. Here's your problem.
You better pray Darius
Here's
show
your problem.
up.
How do I know that Jimmy Butler, from watching their games, I don't know if Jimmy Butler's game is good with Donovan Mitchell as it is now. See, one thing that is underrated is you look at the way Darius is facilitating and moving the basketball. We got a free-flowing offense. Jimmy Butler is ISO Joe's cousin. Jimmy Butler has a propensity to get the ball and pound and back down and ISO on the block and get him to his spots. Darius Garland's moving the ball. Plus we got to think about this. Darius Garland is, I think, moving slowly into that third role, where Evan Mobley is getting more usage, more touches. And look, if Jimmy Butler comes here, Jimmy Butler is not slowly moving to nothing. He's like, yeah, let me get this rock, and it's going to be me, and it's my turn, your turn with him and Donovan Mitchell. I like the way they're playing. I like the way Garland is getting other people involved. Does he have some defensive limitations? Sure he does. But that just means he's going to have to be so efficient on the offensive end that some of that stuff can get, minimized a little bit. And by the way, played some damn good, tough defense the last time the Celtics was in the building. So, no, I'm going to go with the Cavs as constituted because I saw a bunch of people losing on Christmas Day, and the Cavs was at home chilling with the best record.
They'll be on Christmas Day next year. I feel pretty damn confident in saying that. And Jason and I on our Christmas Day show, we talked about that 2016 Cavs-Warriors Christmas Day matchup.
Greatest of all time.
Which may be one of the best regular season basketball
Kyrie
games
hit the
of all
same
time.
shot.
What a shot.
Real quick story on that game that I didn't know. So you know how they wore the T-shirt jerseys? Mm-hmm. I wasn't here at the time, so I didn't know. But LeBron hated those jerseys, right? Mm-hmm. On Christmas Day and then for Game 7 of the championship, he had asked Nike, because that was the Nike uniforms, right, to give him a special modified version where the sleeves were loose as hell. So everyone else's sleeves were painted on like it was the Under Armour material. Mm-hmm. LeBron didn't like that, so he got his own special custom version of the special custom jerseys with the baggy shooting sleeves, so he felt better.
And I thought they was ripped. I thought he ripped
them off on one game. But that was before.
That was before they came back.
And then Nike was like, LeBron, we can't have you ripping off the jerseys we're trying to sell, so we're gonna make exactly what you want.
Them Christmas cursive jerseys were like.
They should go back to Christmas jerseys. I didn't like yesterday.
I loved them. It was just kind of whack.
We'll wrap up the Jimmy Butler topic with this. I think in the playoffs, the style of basketball you play from an offensive and defensive standpoint is very different than how you play in game 25 through game 55. Mm-hmm. It slows down. You do have to rely on more isolation basketball because teams have scouted you so well. They know some of your movements. Jimmy Butler fits into that mold better than Darius Garland does in theory. However, having two guys who at any given point can create off the dribble is a distinct advantage. Now, Butler can, don't get me wrong. But he is not the facilitator Darius is. And if you were to bring Jimmy Butler in, it stunts the growth of Evan Mobley too. Because if you're going to use, from a usage rate standpoint, Jimmy Butler in the same way you're using Darius Garland, I don't think Jimmy's going to be content with that. That's never been Jimmy's game since he left Chicago. Mm-hmm. He's in the high 20s, low 30s of usage rate. Darius is at 26% right now. Evan's at 23%. I want to see that go up even more. And if you're going to continue to force feed Evan Mobley like they have and like they should, and we're going to talk about Evan Mobley a little more in a sec, that's going to come out of Butler's typical touches. And if he's not happy, I don't want to see what happens in the locker room, and I don't want that ripple effect. So as enticing as Jimmy Butler may be, I can't bring myself to do it for a potential 6-month rental. I can't.
Maybe if they, what do you think is good landing spots for me?
He
Maybe
said
somewhere like Dallas.
He
Like,
said
Golden
his
State
two
makes
spot
perfect
is
sense.
Golden State and the Suns.
I can't see Phoenix. I think Golden State makes a ton of
That's his
sense.
two preferred.
Golden State will
destinations.
make
Golden State makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, Golden State makes a lot of sense. All right, Ant, what's our next topic today? We're sticking with the Cavs for the first hour, so
Yeah, before
let's
we
keep it
move on
rolling.
too, 87% of the chat agrees with you guys. They would not trade for Jimmy Butler.
Crazy. Shout out to the chat. How about all four of us being right today?
Hey, look, hey, man, listen.
You get both out the equation,
Well,
and we're all right.
we won't be right until playoffs come around. We'll find
We
out.
got a lot to prove still, but yes.